And I just see people looking at me with like a glare in their eyes. I was like, and then Cheick Diallo, he came up to me and was like, hey my boy, check Twitter. I don't really get on social media like that, so I just went around and asked Frank, hey man, where am I going? Because I already knew I got traded. So I was like, where am I going, bro? And he was like, OKC. And I said, alright. I just kind of gave everyone a final goodbye, made my way around the room, and left. This is how Kelly Oubre found out he was getting traded from the Phoenix Suns. No call from the owner, no call from the head coach, no call from the general manager, just found it out for his teammates. And a quick throwback to when Harrison Barnes was traded in the middle of an NBA game. In recent years, it just seems to have become the norm for teams to trade players without even telling them or discussing it with them beforehand. And we saw Isaiah Thomas find out how he got traded from the Celtics while he thought he was staying there.
Call, he texted me, IT, give me a call back. Called him back, then he asked me how I was doing. I was like, I just got back to Seattle. He knew I was on my anniversary. He knew I was in Miami, so I said, I just got back to Seattle, I'm chilling, headed home. And then like it got a little quiet. And then that's when he broke it to me. He's like, well, IT, I just traded you.
You can just see the shock and despair in his face when he's told over the phone that he's been traded.
That's crazy. And saying what I've done for the city and what I meant to him and all that bullshit.
Nigga, what are you talking about? My kid's about to start school. Off the strength, after everything I went through, nigga. Like, you're not supposed to do that.
All the hard work he's done there in such a short space of time was just for nothing. And sadly for Isaiah, he hasn't been the same player since he injured his hip at the end of the 2016-17 season. He just never found his rhythm again and ended up just being passed around from the Cavs to the Lakers to the Nuggets and now to the Wizards. I'm not going to go too in depth on Isaiah though, because I do have a separate video planned for him that will be coming out very, very shortly. However, I will just say that again, this was another really disrespectful trade. And that's my main focus of this video really, just NBA teams being far too disrespectful to their players and not even discussing any trades or telling them what is going on. And Kelly Oubre, who I mentioned at the start of the video, wasn't told anything by anyone from the Suns organisation. He literally found out through his teammates when he turned up to training, and it was Frank Kaminsky who broke the news to him about him being traded to the Thunder, where he was then traded to the Warriors. In the past though, it seems like teams would care about their players far more, and actually discuss it with them if they were planning on trading them. And it wasn't uncommon at all to have a player play out their entire NBA career on a single team. And I was just having a look actually at the best players in the NBA that have only played on one team, and I found a top 20 list from the Sportster. And obviously in there you've got all-time greats like Larry Bird, Bill Russell and Magic Johnson. But do you know out of this top 20 list how many of these players played the majority of their career after the year 2000? And unsurprisingly to me, there was only 3 players: Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki and Kobe Bryant. I do think the players are somewhat to blame as well though, as players' goals seem to have changed in the last 20 years. Many players used to aspire to play on the same team for their whole career and do everything in their power to bring a championship back home. The perfect example of this is Dirk Nowitzki, who at his prime was being highly recruited by many different NBA teams, and he turned down significant pay rises just to stay on the Dallas Mavericks. And in my opinion, Dirk's ring for the Mavericks is one of the most impressive in modern NBA history. In the second round, the Mavericks swept the Lakers 4-0, who had won the previous 2 championships and had prime Kobe Bryant on the team. And in the West Conference Finals, they faced the Thunder, while they had Westbrook, KD, James Harden and Serge Ibaka. This was the year that the Thunder had the best chance of winning a championship, but the Mavericks beat them easily as well, gentlemen sweeping them with a 4-1 victory. And then in the finals, they faced the Miami Heat with Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, in which Dirk beat them 4-2. And Dirk was the only real star on this Mavericks team. And Dirk accomplished what would be my personal goal if I was ever in the NBA. To stay on one team for my whole career, be loved by the fans in the entire city and be one of the most respected players in the NBA, and of course bring a championship back to the team that drafted you. I think the issue with a lot of players is they care far too much about money when they're already making millions a year, and that players don't fall in love with the city they play in like they used to. I fully understand where some players don't fit in with the team they're on and then want to move to a team where they have better chances of winning a ring. I get that, but it would be nice to see some stars stay loyal to the team that drafted with them and just play out their whole career there. But it's also important to see the owners stay loyal to their stars. And I know I speak about Luka a lot, but I feel like he's one player who wants to stay in Dallas, and Mark Cuban has already expressed how badly he wants Luka to stay in Dallas. And this is what Mark Cuban said, and I quote, If I had to choose between my wife and keeping Luke on the Mavs, catch me at my lawyer's office prepping for my divorce. And something tells me that Mark wasn't actually joking when he said this. And so for just my closing notes on this video, I think NBA owners really need to start telling their players when they're trading them or thinking about trading them. Because for a player to find out through Twitter or through their teammates when they turn up to training when they shouldn't even be there is just far too disrespectful. And then as well, more players should stay loyal to their teams if it makes sense for them. It makes watching games far better, and it gives the fans really a chance to fall in love with one of the players on their team. And so as always, thank you so much for watching to the end, and I've actually switched up my camera angle a bit for this video. I think you can tell I just looked into the light right behind there and I was blinded myself. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.